Oh, he has that annoying. I hate that sound.
T. Welcome
I could
back.
do it too with the water. Sorry.
Go ahead. Let's hear it. I
No,
don't
I
get
just
it.
hear the gulp. I just hear the gulp on
Sorry, I
that
have
one.
headphones on.
Well,
He does.
thank
Normally,
you
when
for
I'm
coming
drinking tea,
back
it's like,
to the Atomic Business Coaching Podcast, where what do we do here, Tom? I forget.
We ask hard questions and give you simple solutions.
There you go. So, for any of you that are listening to the first time, thanks. Thanks for joining us. This is where we talk to one or a few of our members from the Project 2740 community, answer their very specific questions, try to give you some value so you can have insights to your business. And then we jump out of here and we go into a private room. Ooh, special. So today we have our friend Chelle. Hi, Chelle.
hi, Adam. Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming back.
coming.
Yeah, it's good to be
We
here.
appreciate it. You're our second timer, so we're trying to get people to come back multiple times, give some insights or some updates or anything like that. Now you know the drill. Let's see if anybody else knows the drill here. So what we do is we're going to introduce Chelle. She's going to let you know who she is, where you can find her, what she does, and then she's going to ask us a hard question. Hopefully we can give her a simple solution. All right, Chelle, so why don't you tell them who you are, what you do, where they can find you?
I am a LinkedIn engagement specialist. I'm also a LinkedIn cheerleader. Affectionately, I deemed myself that. I really help people get excited to engage on the platform. LinkedIn should not feel like work. And so I really work with people to encourage them to get excited about showing up and having more of the conversations that they want to have. So, of course, that means you can find me on LinkedIn.
Surprising. Where would they find you? What do they look for?
They can look me up with the C, not an S for Chelle Shapiro. So just look up that handle.
Excellent. And we'll put it in the show notes for anybody who's driving and listening, not watching. Tom, anything you want to add before we get what Chelle's question is today?
I just can't believe it's, we're recording this very close to the end of the year, and it's just been an amazing year. And I'm so excited for 2025 and what we've been doing in this community. And, I'm glad to have Chelle here. We have so many amazing members, and we're just watching everybody thrive. And it's been really such a rewarding experience. So if you're not a member of the community, check it out.
It has been fun. And like Chelle's become a friend of ours, right? It's like we have side conversations. We actually have a conversation we're going to have later on. She's become a part of our community, not only participating, but actually coaching and helping our members out with their LinkedIn engagement. So Chelle, we appreciate you. So thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you. I honestly, before I even ask my question, when I first joined the community, I joined just thinking I was going to be a coach. I had no expectations, of which I know we've worked through having intentions and expectations now, but like I had no expectations of really how much or how little I was going to participate as a member. And I think that's really flipped since I've joined. Like I love the coaching aspect of it, but I also really like learning from you guys, and I like being surrounded by people who are, even if we're not at the exact same place, we're growing and learning together. So that's been really helpful to keep me motivated.
That's awesome. Yeah. And we as well, when we came in here, we didn't really know exactly what it was going to be. And the intention was group coaching, and it has turned into a community. Yes, we still coach in groups, but this really has turned into a community where there are so many people inside that care about one another's success. They care about one another's struggles. They're there to support each other. It's been a really happy addition to what our original intentions were. So you're a part of that. So what questions do you have for us?
I've got two today. So the first one has actually been really hard for me to ask this for the last 2 weeks, and I've been sitting on it for a while. And this question's for you, Tom, specifically. It probably has a very simple answer to it, but I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. What's the real reason that you have not accepted my LinkedIn connection request?
Ooh, because I'm never on LinkedIn. That's a simple answer. Adam accused me of that earlier today. Like, where do you find this guy? Listen, as you all know, so it's not intentional, Chelle. I can't believe I'm not friends with you on LinkedIn. But yes, I'm gonna have to go into LinkedIn and make sure that happens. It's because Adam focuses a lot on the social platforms, especially LinkedIn, for us and Atomic Business Coaching. I have not been present on the platform as much. I've started to post a lot more recently, using the clips from the podcast, doing a little bit more engagement than I usually do. But that has never been my shtick. But, it's something that in 2025 that I'm really looking to grow and improve upon. We just took a great course by a very big influencer on LinkedIn that's kind of motivated me to think differently. Justin Welsh, if you haven't taken that course, it's amazing. And Adam and I have been learning together, and it kind of inspired a whole business plan for us today. And it just showed me the power and the importance of engaging on LinkedIn. So that's my 2025 project, to be more present on social media and to be more present in LinkedIn. And Adam's like, that's bullshit. He's not doing it.
I don't. So here's the thing. I'm going to elaborate on this. I don't think it's bullshit. I think if you said it, you'll absolutely do it.
Yeah, of course.
But here's the thing is, and hopefully anybody who's listening to this can understand what I mean here, is that Tom chooses not to be on LinkedIn. And that's because he knows exactly who he is. He knows what his strengths are. He knows what his weaknesses are. He knows what he loves, and he knows what he dislikes. I don't think he hates anything. I haven't found anything you hate yet.
Nope.
And I think that as a business owner, you're going to have to pick your battles so you can win the war. And Tom has drawn a line in the sand. It's like, this is not what I'm into. Adam, if you need me to do it, Adam, if the company needs us to both be doing it, I will definitely do it. And we found ways for him not to have to do that. Now, I thoroughly enjoy it. Like it brings me more energy, more vitality when I do it. So it's actually good that I'm doing it and he's not, because it sucks his energy and it gives me energy. So why not, when you have partners, be able to do that? But this goes for everything in your business. Just because society says you need to do something doesn't mean you need to do that. Just because you think you should do something doesn't mean you should do that. When you're a business owner, the greatest part about this is freedom. And I don't mean time. I mean freedom to make decisions. And you get to make the decisions on how you're going to operate your business. And if more people would do what Tom has done, and that's why I was cringing when he said that's my project, because I don't know if he's saying that because he thinks he should do it or he really is inspired to try it now. If he's inspired to do it, great. If he thinks he should do it, we're going to have a side conversation letting him know that absolutely not, man. The same way there's certain things that I don't want to do. Like, I don't want to handle all the money side of our business. In my other businesses, that's what I have to do for a living. I don't want to do it here. I don't do it at home with my own personal finances. My wife handles all that. Yeah, I'll look at big picture stuff. I'll take the information, analyze and make decisions, but I don't want to aggregate the data. I don't want to sift through it. I don't want to organize it. I don't want to count. Tom is excellent at that. I'm not saying he loves to do it. He's excellent at it. Whatever you're going to do in your business, make the decisions for the best interest of you first, your business second, and your clients third. And I know for some of you who are clients of ours, you might not like to hear that. But if we don't make the best decisions for our business, I can't make the best decisions for you. And if we don't make the best decisions for ourselves, we can't make the best decisions for our business. And that's the pecking order that you really have to look at these things at. So, Tom.
Yes, Adam.
No, I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Why would you say you're going to make that part of your project for next year?
Because I think I've seen the important value of building relationships on LinkedIn, and that's the angle from which I'm really going to approach it. I'm going to look to build a few more relationships. I'm not going to build a lot. I'm going to be more present because it's important for us. I see the importance as a company and as part of this company that I'm posting and putting things out there. But I also think it's important to, when people engage, to build the relationships with those people. And I'm going to focus on it fully from a relationship building perspective and attempt to build, I would say, a dozen new relationships that I don't have right now that I find to be sincere and genuine. The bombardment in the DMs of everybody buying, selling you their shit, and you have to buy their shit. And, I hate those first messages that come in and immediately they're like, pitching me to sell me something. And, I don't like that part of it, but I'm going to really go with the perspective. I'm here to build relationships. I'm going to build 12 relationships this year. And that is going to be something that I have not really done on LinkedIn in a long time.
I like that.
That's the plan. And
okay.
Chelle, I have accepted your friend request while Adam was talking.
Let's go.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're friends on there.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I want to make one more recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom?
Yeah.
You don't have to take this recommendation. It's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you said 12 new relationships. What I would encourage you to do is take some of the relationships we have built offline or in communities or on one-on-one and build them also through LinkedIn. And here's why. I think you are the most valuable person I know when it comes to caring about people, when it comes to really good insights. And I think some of those people feel the same way about you.
Okay.
And you're not as accessible as I think you are.
Right.
And those people crave you. And I think if you gave them a spot and they understood Tom may not respond back to you for X amount of time,
Right.
that they would still be grateful for your response.
I appreciate that, man. That's a good point. Yep. I got it. Okay.
Cool. And you just started one with Chelle. So there you go.
There we go.
I've been waiting 2 weeks. I've been waiting on this question. But honestly, if I dig a little bit deeper on that, the reason that I was so worried or, uncomfortable asking you that question is because I wasn't sure if I had given you a good enough reason to connect with me. And so I was second guessing whether I had asked the right questions or commented and engaged enough in the right way to warrant continuing that conversation as a connection. I've been sitting on it as part of as I go through and refine my 5 W's to think about what can I do to continue this conversation outside of the community, and how do I bring it to a place where I thrive, because I wasn't sure how to do that. And so I was really in my head about whether or not I had given you enough reason to continue it there.
That's a great point, Chelle. First of all, I just want to point out the very growth-oriented mindset that you have in that situation, where you're evaluating what else could I do to make things more meaningful, right? Regardless of how I responded, didn't respond, the intention behind it, anything. And I think that's such an important point for business owners to really reflect on is that when things don't necessarily happen the way you expect them to happen, and you take the time to reevaluate the way Chelle is reevaluating our interactions previously and in the group and everything, and really looking at what did she give enough value, did she give enough opportunity, and you check all those things out off and you can really say you did, then you have to also remember that there's two sides to every relationship. And if you're not getting the response from that person, you either have to do exactly what you did here, is call me out on it, because we do have an existing relationship, or you just have to forget about it and move on to the next people that you really should be spending the time and the effort and the energy. And I think sometimes a lot of people get stuck in that place when they don't ask themselves those questions. So I applaud you asking those questions of yourself, and I applaud you for calling me onto the seat and say, what the hell, man? Why aren't you accepting my friend request? And sometimes it's just that simple. But that's what you have to look at it is, anytime something doesn't happen the way you expect it to, you have to look at yourself first and say, okay, did I do everything I needed to do? And if I did that, and I can put my head on the pillow at night saying that I did that, then it's not about me, it's about the other person. And that's what I want to make sure that I point out at this point, because I think a lot of people turn that on themselves and make it about them. And often it's not about you. I tell people this all the time, especially in one-on-one coaching, when we're having a one-on-one conversation. I'll very clearly say, what are you worrying about? It's not about you. It's about the other person. It's about the other thing that they're going through, or what the stage they're at. So good for you for asking those questions, and good for you for calling me out on it. And I think you have to remember, you can call more people out on these things when you are struggling to find the answer, or not getting satisfied with the answer you're giving yourself.
And another great thing that I think has come out of it too, and especially knowing my intention and my expectation going into asking that question, is I was okay no matter what your response was. Because either way, I win. I get information out of it. Either you're going to tell me, yes, I'll accept it. Oh my God, how did I miss this? And great, we can take the next step. Or you tell me exactly why you haven't done it, and then I can still take the next step. So either way, it was a win.
Right. And that's the growth mindset. That's what I'm saying. It's the win-win, right? Because sometimes there's a win-lose and then there's the lose-lose. And the lose-lose is always in the fixed mindset, no matter what. If you don't ask the questions, you don't get the answers, you lose the situation. You ask the questions, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But you went for the win-win in that situation, regardless of the outcome. And that's what I encourage people to always do is go for the win-win. Don't go for the lose-lose, or don't even go for the win-lose.
Now, if you know me, I tend to have a contrarian view to Thomas Marino. I
Yes, you
don't
do.
disagree with him. I just like to bring a different viewpoint, and that is the value of getting both Tom and I.
Yep.
I agree with everything he said, but I personally go about it a different way, and I've taught my son a very different way. I actually haven't had this conversation with my daughter yet. I haven't had to. When you said, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't me doing everything that I should or shouldn't have done and those things. What I had a conversation with my son about is here's a wonderful way to look at things. Don't ever give yourself the option to second guess whether or not you did everything you're supposed to. Just always do everything you're supposed to. And when it doesn't go your way, you already know it's not your fault because people are crazy. People are also going through some shit. And if you know from the beginning, I did everything I was supposed to, I did everything I should have done, I did everything I could have done, then there is no question. So I'm not putting that on you, Chelle. I'm just saying to the audience, we all get skeptical. We all get imposter syndrome, even me, okay? But when we look at it, did I do what I was supposed to do? And every time I'm like, yes, because I always do. And you always can too. And that's what I've tried to empower my son to have. And I will with my daughter. And guess what? Even me doesn't always do what I'm supposed to do. But that's okay. That's okay. You will spot it much quicker if you usually do what you're always supposed to do. And you'll say, all right, I got to fix something. I got to pick something up. I usually go talk to Tom. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm dealing with this thing. What's going on? And he's either pointing out my limiting belief or my sabotaging behavior or where my attention is really gone. And that allows me to be like, oh, now I get it. So I would highly encourage you to just make sure you do what your standards are. Forget the world. What are your standards?
Awesome, man. All right, Chelle, another question.
What's something that you've been dying to ask me?
Ooh, that's a good question, Chelle. How did you get started on LinkedIn as an as a cheerleader? Like, how did that all come about? I don't even know if I know the origin story.
Oh, the origin story. Okay. So I think I originally joined LinkedIn in like 2008, 2009-ish. And I absolutely was not using the platform back then in its intended way. Like I really just wasn't taught. But fast forward to like 2019, 2020, as I was starting to go through the recovery process and like navigate burnout and transform and become this beautiful butterfly, what have you. I really did not have a support system. And this was off LinkedIn too. But I went to LinkedIn as a place where I could connect with people who wanted similar things, who knew what they were there for, who wanted to have more conversations. And so I found a lot of camaraderie in having conversations with people about my own health and wellness journey, about my own experiences in a toxic workplace. Both of those things happen to be true at the same time. So I was having a lot of conversations where people resonated with what I had to say. And what I found was that I wasn't alone in my journey. And so the cheerleader part came out of me also wanting to cheer other people on and encourage them to keep going, to keep figuring out who they were, to keep having a voice. As you know, like there's so much noise on every social media platform, including LinkedIn. And like, if you aren't comfortable with who you are, and if you're not comfortable with having a voice and using it and speaking up for yourself or advocating for others, then like, how can you expect anybody to find you? So once I knew that I had my own voice and I had something to say and I enjoyed having these conversations, it really became about how can I empower other people to have these conversations too. So that's where that comes from.
That is awesome. I love that story. And I hope if you're listening right now, I want you to recognize something that Chelle did there. Again, the growth mindset. Toxic environment, burnt out, needed a place to be supported. Went to LinkedIn, built a network of people, built a community, got to know people, engaged with people regularly, did all that stuff. And now she has her own business where she does LinkedIn engagement as her business. She totally took lemons and made lemonade. If you don't see, like, that's why I asked the origin story, because I always love hearing, especially solopreneurs of today, especially solopreneurs that are on social media, running businesses that center around social media. It's because there was something that was quote unquote missing in their life that they've now turned into a fulfilling thing that now they get to do every day as their quote unquote job. And that can happen for anybody that's listening to this. You just have to think about what the opportunity is that's being presented to you at this time. And Chelle, you took full advantage of the opportunity. You may not have realized what was going to happen, but just taking the step to go after the support was huge. So good for you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I love it.
Makes me feel good. And it's like 6 years in the making. So yeah, I'm still going strong. I still enjoy what I'm doing. And that's, you guys always say, like, you have to have the passion or the expertise. And I'm very fortunate enough that I enjoy what I do, and I'm pretty darn good at it, if I do say so myself. So I've got both.
Good for you.
Can I ask you a question too then?
Absolutely.
All right. As I've gotten to know you, and I've seen you in group, I've seen you in one-on-one, I've talked to you on the phone, different things. I've always been very curious of who you're so happy for. You're always so happy, but I know sometimes you're not. And I know sometimes you struggle, but even in your struggles, you're always so happy about it. And it doesn't feel phony. It doesn't feel forced. And I am very curious, who are you so happy for?
Whew. Selfishly, but not selfishly. It's for me. Back when I was in that toxic environment, and I was in that environment for over 13 years, back when I was not feeling my best, doing my best, like, look, not comfortable in my own skin, and like everything just felt like it was spiraling. Like, I was not happy. I lost who I was. And I probably did put on a lot of masks to make myself appear happy on the outside. And I think people deep down could see through that. And so now that I've peeled back those layers, like, I'm just me. And like, every day is an opportunity. Every day, like, I'm so grateful that I'm here, that I get to do the things that I get to do, have the conversations that I have. I just want people to have that, even on days that suck. Like, I want people to still see that there's light here. Like, and so I'm that beacon, I guess. Like, I'm happy for me. And I think that, like, people can see it.
I love that.
All right, Tommy, time to wrap up. We're now going to go over to Project 2740, where we have a private Q&A for our members. Thank you very much once again, Chelle. It was very nice. I appreciate that you included us in our own podcast a little bit here. That was awesome. I really loved the conversation that we had. I like the point counterpoint that Tom and I got to do. You know, I may want to consider us, Tom, only having one person on here in the future instead of two.
I know. It was interesting. We did it last time with Claire, this time with Chelle. I'm seeing like a nice little pattern developing.
Yeah, so, see, sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. Like, we had another guest that was coming here today and couldn't make it. You do the thing, like Chelle's awesome T-shirt that she
tie-dyed.
Adapted. She had tie-dyed it. Sometimes you just do the thing, and then these wonderful answers are just given to you. Mm-hmm. And I would challenge each and every one of you watching this or listening this to just tomorrow go do the thing that you've been waiting so long to do and see what happens. Because on the other side of it, it may be better than you expected. So thanks again, and we will see you soon.